me wrong, Musty is a hell of a mower, and it sounds alright. And that's due to having 2 exhaust pipes. Now you should have 2 exhaust pipes on a twin cylinder, that's how it is. But I have 2 that just go down to 2. I need 2 to go into 1. For these engines to operate at the peak performance, you need the back pressure in the exhaust. And therefore you need to have 2 exhaust manifolds come into 1. So right now I have 1 on each side of the frame. You can see on this side I have my downpipe straight off the manifold, and same on this side. Now this side actually broke a weld in the inside, and I actually had to tackle it to the frame. And I just haven't touched this setup just because it's been working, and I've just been busy with everyone else's builds and other things, and trying to make some money and whatnot, fund the channel, and just busy editing and all that kind of crap. But now, finally I have some time. So we're going to dip right into how I'm going to mod this mower to make it have some nice performance exhaust and hopefully sound a lot better. Because in the videos, I'm sure I'm getting annoyed with how Musty sounds. It just doesn't sound like how the mower looks. The mower looks like it should sound better. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's get into what I have to do to that. First, I got to peel off the old exhaust, and then we can start figuring how I'm going to map and route the exhaust through the frame and then down on the side. So we're looking at some tight areas in here, but I'm hoping I can figure it out and get a tube from this side to that side. I think I have some room under my intake and over my winch, as you guys can see in there. And again, I'm gonna wrap everything in the heat shrink in the heat wrap there, the header wrap. But yeah, okay, let's get into peeling off these old exhaust pipes, cutting them up, and figuring out the new setup. Musty, get ready. New sound coming. New tune gonna be romping down the trail. Let's get it done. Okay, quick change up here. Decided to route the exhaust down under behind the winch in between the engine. That just less exhaust closer to the other one. Way more neater and cleaner. If I always could tap off of here to put a little can cooker in if I wanted. But it's gonna run down and then through. That way it's not close to any wires. There is a little bit of wires on the top for the winch, but I'll build a cover and heat wrap those with the same stuff I did on my spark plug wires and everything else. So that's gonna be pretty decent. I'm pretty stoked. That will head down that way and be all heat wrapped. Alright, so we had to change up the plans, but it worked out for the better. Check it out. So fully wrapped, fully adjustable, I guess you could say, flexible. So the thing I actually had to adjust or fix was this fitting. So it ended up being, before I had, it was this pipe that was the main tube that bent and then hooked down, and just the flow I didn't feel was going to be right. Once I welded up, I didn't like it. So now I have it where this is the main flow pipe, and it comes in, and then this one intersects, and it will have a nice flow into it instead of the other way around. So I think this is the best way of going about it. This is going to be sweet. And again, I can maneuver it into there and then weld on my final pipe there that will go down beside the mower. But damn, that's looking pretty freaking sweet. I'm loving that. That is awesome. Alright, so I'm finally actually routing the exhaust. So, as you can see, I cut the hole here and brought the exhaust through the frame there, or my extra bit of frame. And now I want to run it from here down under the running board and on its way out the back. So the first thing I did was actually cut off the front of the running board. And the next thing I'm going to do, and I've already done it, is build that down pipe. So as you can see, just nice bent tube, little fitting at the end there. I went and swedged that up so that I can press fit it over that piece. And then as you guys can see, once it's all in there, it'll look something like that. And then as you can see, it meets up down here. Now you're probably wondering what the frick, why is it all the way up there and not under the running board? Well, if I had it under the running board, I get big chances of smashing it on rocks and catching on something. So what I'm going to actually do is drill a hole through this piece and through this piece and weld a tube in between, and then the exhaust will go through that chunk of frame. If I ever do hit it, it will be welded both ends, so it's just a nice solid chunk of tube in there. And heated running boards, so rock on. Anyways, next thing I gotta do is actually get this chunk of pipe in there and weld it on. So let's get that done and then figure out that routing piece and then figure out a muffler and all that good stuff. Anyways, it's coming along pretty damn well. Alright, now so before you go beaking me for welding exhaust straight to the frame, just have a look. The running boards, I'm gonna need 2 hands, but they unbolt. So I'm not actually welding it to the frame. I can fully take out the exhaust, so don't get too high strung on that, people. So as you guys can see, just a tube, nothing in there, it's just a chunk of tube. But I built this baffling bar, which is just a bunch of washers spaced out, welded to a rod, and then this will get inserted in like that and give me some baffling. So now there's going to be washers all the way down here, and when your exhaust comes in, it's just going brrrr all through there. So with having a bit of baffling in there, it will add to the back pressure of the exhaust system, therefore hopefully giving me a little bit more performance wise in the engine. But yeah, let's get that installed and see what it looks like. Unreal. Right, here it is, fully welded in. Now again, this isn't heat wrapped, or I might just end up painting it, but as you can see, barely is up under there. Instead of having this whole tube sit under here and creating a low spot, now I don't have a low spot. And it looks hella cool, and I'm thinking it's going to sound pretty decent. Now again, I'm still going to add a muffler off the back that's going to sit over here. So as you can see, I got my hole right there, and then I'll be coming up through here and there'll be a muffler there. Alright, I don't know how well you guys can hear that on the video, but honestly I'm really surprised. It sounds pretty damn well. I've got one small exhaust leak up front that I expected, so I'm gonna fix that. But for the whole actual muffler, I don't think I'm gonna put like a real muffler. I was gonna get like a pit bike or like a small dirt bike muffler and put that in there, but I'm pretty sure that's just gonna be extra weight at this point. I might just put a little tiny little muffler tip on there to give it a little bit more growl, because from the back it sounds completely different from the front, which I'm down. Finally, not all my noise is right up front, and it's all you can hear is just exhaust. And that's all I ever heard. So once I actually have the hood on there and I'm driving, it actually makes a lot more growling noise from the rear. And I'll put the camera back there, see if I can get that. But I'm thinking with a small little exhaust tip on the end facing backwards, it's going to sound great from the rear. Finally, the sound is where I want, and I could get it a little bit better, and I'm hoping with the tip it will do that. But yeah, I should also mention, if you guys are liking how this build is, check out some of the other YouTube videos on my channel. All the other mowers have been built on the channel, and there's just as many cool mods on those mowers as there is on Musty. They're just completely different builds and different aspects, but all the same fundamentals come into play. So check that out. Just scroll through. I would really appreciate that, especially for anyone actually trying to learn how to build a mower. And yes, I look at a lot of all you guys' messages, and a lot of you are building mowers. So get to it. Start watching the videos. A lot of the questions you guys ask me could be answered just by watching the YouTube series, because we go over everything on these mowers. So check that out, and let's get to it. Actually really happy. I finished off the exhaust there with a little tip, and it turned out great. So as you can see, just a little end tip, and wow, it sounds great from behind. I love it. It's got a nice low end growl. So again, thanks again everybody. Next video I'll have this all painted and heat wrapped. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the new one. Boom!